Culturedog Sam Hatch back with yet another Laserdisc Unwrapping video. And this one, I have a different variation that came out. Only 10,000 copies were pressed of this 1995 signature collection version of Jaws. And it was repressed in, I think, November of 96. 1 year later as a smaller package. This one has CAV. The other one only has one side, I believe, in CAV, whereas this one, the whole thing. And it also includes some goodies, like a novel and a CD, which the later box, much thinner box, did not have. And Jaws had been reissued on Laserdisc countless times. It was one of the earliest DiscoVision titles, but it had, received a decent letterboxed copy in the early 90s that just about everybody had, but it was time to give it a big, THX superset. Though I remember Widescreen Review being very critical of the picture on this, and they actually went as far as to say it was not worthy of the THX quality control badge. But I always thought it was a decent enough transfer, at least the CLV version I had. I watched it a lot of times. So, and one of the things that these sets were noteworthy for was that it had the original making of documentary, the full 2-hour version that was later truncated on DVD, and I believe that's available in its full form now, but for a long time there everybody wanted these. It also has some music from the beach scene, incidental music. I think Paul Anka and Olivia Newton-John, there were some tunes playing over the radio during one of the scenes where Roy Scheider's staring out at the water, and earlier incarnations have a notification on the back of the jacket saying that some portions of the film have been rescored. But yeah, a lot of extras on this beast, and yeah, for a Jaws fan, you're gonna dig it, especially the documentary. And behind the copious amounts of discs, which are in CAV as mentioned before. How many do we got here? 1, 2, 500, 600, 700 discs. And it will definitely hold down your coffee table if you're worried about it floating away. But behind the curtain is a copy of Peter Benchley's book Jaws, which I had never read. I should really check that out at some point. The only thing I know from talking about or hearing some of the documentary stuff is that Hooper had a little bit of a liaison with Mrs. Brody, which is a bummer. I kind of don't want to read that now, but I guess I'll check it out for myself and see what the hoopla is all about. Peter Benchley also shows up for a brief cameo as a news reporter on the beach in the film itself, but it seems like it's going to be a short read, so I'll check that out. It's something cool to throw in there as a little extra bonus for fans. So this is, I believe, the third copy of Jaws now I own on Laserdisc. I've got the early 90s letterbox edition and then both of these signature collections. And there was a redone version of the score maybe around like 2000 or so. But this was, I believe, the same one from earlier that had been put out on vinyl, etc. I think it had been dropped on CD in the early 90s. So pretty short, not a huge amount of music on there, but pretty cool to have as a bonus gift. And it's not a gold one. Like sometimes in box sets they like to give away gold CDs. But it's cool because I actually never owned this score, so it'll go nicely next to Raiders of the Lost Ark and Star Wars and so many other countless cool John Williams releases. So it's a very nice box. Widescreen Review wasn't too thrilled with the picture quality, but I think it's a worthy addition to anybody's collection.